Okay, we're live.
Vicky, are you able to unmute?
Good afternoon, everyone. We are very happy to have Henry Lee to do our program again. Usually, Yongler will be doing that, but today I just make a little bit interesting. Most people probably already know Henry Lee very well. He is a wonderful teacher, and a lot of students love him a lot. Today he will give us more painting class, or combined with Chinese painting with watercolor painting. I hope you will enjoy it and learn more from him, because this program will be viewed and recorded. And if you do not want to be seen from like a YouTube or whatever, please stop sharing your a video, so you can close the video so no one can see your face. Just be aware of it. Okay, as soon as Henry started, if you do not stop video, your face will be recorded. Just be aware of it. Okay. Now let's give the ground to the Henry. Okay.
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Yongler, and thank everybody from all over the world joining me and the Brooklyn Librarians again this New Year. So Happy New Year to everybody. I'm very excited to share with you this New Year's calendar. If you registered, you should have received a digital copy of this. So this is basically the content of this class was based on. I have spent over a period of 5 months last year, thanks to Kathy Bank. They commissioned me to create this fusion watercolor project to celebrate the year of the tiger. The concept of this calendar is very unique, very inspiring. Otherwise, I have set up a rule not to do any commercial commissions like this because too much headache and too little freedom. So I made sure that I have the artist license to change anything according to my artistry, and then I have enough room to create. So I took the job, and I appreciate very much the design team that I collaborated. They are very professional and very inspiring. Also thanks to the direct involvement of the top management, the CEO and the vice president, or the marketing directors in the company. They all contributed to this project. So it's a result of a fusion of different cultural background, different people. So let's begin with January. This page is the preface. I also did this, but I'm going to go right into the current months. So this was. You can mute yourself if you're not speaking. Thank you. Oops. Okay, I'm still on. I hope. Okay, I try to turn on this. So if you look at this print on the bottom, and I have the original. Actually, the original was in collection in the possession of the company. I duplicated this with a private lesson student in my studio 2 weeks ago. I recreated this painting on Chinese paper or mulberry paper. If you use the key to search our online store at Blue Heron Arts, it would be 2B. It's a very thin kind of paper, like this. Okay. Let me take it out so you can see how thin it is. I know many of people are have this question: what paper are you going to use? So it's an open question. If you are in the background of Oriental painting, Japanese or Chinese painting, you can use mulberry paper or rice paper. If you are from a Western painting background, you are very welcome to use regular watercolor painting, cold press or rough. I used, I believe it's Arches cold press or rough paper for the original calendar, as you see here on the lower left, or in the print in the calendar. The size of the calendar is what the painting is. It's about 13 by 13. I think I measured it. It's 12 height and 13 width. So about a square. When I painted, I don't have this kind of paper. I used a 13 by 18, I believe, Arches paper. So I did actually wider than I need. So the let me see. Maybe I have a picture of the uncropped. I don't have. I cropped it. So anyway, the designer could actually move a little around. They actually cropped some sky off. I noticed right now. If you look at the original painting, it has a little more, larger. So you can paint a little larger than this. The paper is about 13 and a half by 13 and a half with this mulberry paper particularly. It comes 13 and a half inch. Let me see if I can put this. Yeah. So let me cut this while we speak. So there's a smooth side. That's what we usually paint on. If you use watercolor paper, you can use directly to paint on. But a fusion style will be this. You can use a piece of watercolor paper, or in this case, I used the multimedia paper, the Carson brand XL, I think. Multimedia paper as a support. So I mounted it on the here's the support. The supporting paper comes in a roll. You can also get pads. I think it's Carson, Carson. You know that brand. It's the blue color cover. So this is the Carson paper, and I have this silicone mounting paper. You can get from our online store, or you can use regular like a paste to mount it on if you want with a wet mounting. But it's a little tricky. If you use Western watercolor, it tends to bleed. So I would use dry mounting. But I think we don't need to do this after before painting. So we will paint without mounting because the stretching and for flattening is done after the painting is maybe half finished. I would say you can still touch up. I did add gouache after the painting was mounted. and some accents. So I'll show you. Maybe it will be different approach. So you can use all the techniques we have from the Chinese or Japanese painting, and to make it look like a Western watercolor. So by definition, the word fusion is a mixture of different styles, right? Like the clothing I'm wearing actually is a fusion of a Western cut. We don't have this shoulder cut in traditional fashion, traditional garment, Chinese clothing. But now they have this kind of fusion style. And also in cooking, you can combine French and Chinese. That's what we call fusion. In a narrow sense, you can combine, you can mix different media, like I use Chinese brush or even Chinese paints, Chinese paper, paint Western style. So that's called fusion. You can also adopt other dry media like pastels, water-soluble pastel. There are some, many new products coming out. So, today I'm going to explore. This one actually I've been using this brand of watercolor. It's called Modern Watercolor for several years, like 2 years. It's called Cool Watercolor. It boasts that it's different it's a different binding material. It's not to fade watercolor, non-fading watercolor. So watercolor usually fades away when it's dry. The company Golden company, they are known for acrylics, right? So they made this modern watercolor that's anti-fading. So it's more intensive, more vibrant than traditional watercolor. That's why you see in the calendar, the color is so vibrant. I used exclusively cool watercolor. Is that cool? You can also mix cool watercolor with other watercolor brands. I use Holbein, Winsor Newton, Daniel Smith. They are all my favorites. So actually, it's a mixture of all the brands. Okay. Let's do this. We don't use color to start with because I want to share with you the process. When I take the job, they showed me. I have to sign a non-disclosure agreement, of course, and before they share with me any concept design, and I got the permission to release the information after New Year. So let me share with you this document. That's the first the initial idea I got from the bank design team. Let me see, how do I do that? Let me just click on this. Okay, here we go. So this is a maybe second version of the master concept design, creative concept. I was a creative director when I was working for a high-tech company in the late 90s. Actually, it was. I know how this works. So. So you got a concept. It's in its element, which means the tiger in this calendar will be hidden because tiger likes to take advantage of the element of surprise in hunting. So the elements of tiger will be hidden not as a focal point, not a focus in the painting, but let the user to discover it, to find it, to search, to seek for it, and to create this anticipation. And it's like a game design. So that's the concept. So it against all the norms you have learned from art school, the tiger is not supposed to be the first thing you notice when you see the painting, the illustration. So understand? Then let's go to the another concept they initially developed. I think it's still visible in the finished product, but later we modified, we loosened this boundary. I mean this rule a little bit because they also want to create each illustration to indicate to use one traits of tiger. You know, the Chinese Zodiac symbol has different like personality traits. For example, the month one is a concentration or focus, 专注. And actually Victoria was commissioned also to write characters for the traits on the painting. But later we abandoned it because the challenge is contradictory to the idea of not showing the tiger. How can you describe all the traits, the adaptive, but you can still see those concepts in the final results. But in some cases we have to free ourselves from that. So month one is concentration or focus, showing a tiger in the snow background landscape with Siberian tiger. That's the idea. And then month two is plum blossom with tiger climbing. So that's their concept. It's not my. I think there are some elements they got from my social media. So that's why they think I'm the right person to do this. And this one is curiosity or curious, 好奇 in Chinese. There's a cup of tiger playing in a spring flower field. And then this one is let me see, I forgot. It's cautious. Yeah, cautious. Okay. This one is calm. So a tiger sleeping on the tree. You can still find this in the calendar. And I altered this one. I changed it into a lotus pond. It's purely imaginative. So the whole background is imaginative, not realistic. Because if you ask me what's the difference between watercolor painting and Chinese brush painting, I will say classical or Renaissance, art tradition in West is realism. You could recreate experience with like a real scenery. You cannot do it without reference to nature. But here we are more depict the imaginary world, the world of imagination. Okay. So anyway, you got the idea, right? November is 活力. 活力 means what's that? Dynamic. I can't see the English words. Let me see. Okay, energetic. Energetic is the translation. So this one I did with the bamboo, but because the rule that do not show the tiger, I just hide the tiger in the bamboo forest. By the way, the camouflage, the stripes, the skin of the tiger pattern actually blend well with those woods. In the eyes of the deer, they said the color is gray. It's all gray. It's the same color, not the orange color as in human eyes. Anyway, I learned a lot about tigers. So the last is determined. it's December. So it's again the icy landscape. I changed it into a cave. Okay. Any questions so far? I was wondering, how many of you are expecting to learn more Chinese towards, with Chinese media, or more maybe 50-50, some more in Western watercolor. Because my goal for this class is to just like this calendar, we will do primary watercolor, because that's the only way I can accomplish this task. Because there are several rules I have to follow. One is, no focus of the tiger. No tiger was staying at the people to scare kids in the family, because they want to have something very family friendly, and no ink. This rule was established by the CEO, because in the beginning I already created everything with ink, but he didn't like it. Because he is the decision maker, so everybody had to follow. So here's the final say. So I did everything again on rice. I abandoned rice paper at all, and I abandoned ink. I just stayed with watercolor exclusively to do this. And I will still honor this rule in our class. I know there are some objections, but you are free to use ink on your own. Okay? I got questions from the chat room, but I cannot read. Maybe if you think it's relevant to what I'm talking about, please let me know. Okay, let me go to my painting process directly now. So if you look at the handout, we have a few pages of the process I created this. So I started with a ink drawing on rice paper, and we can do that. So at this stage, I concentrate on the layout, the composition ideas of the tiger, the scenery, or the imaginary scene. It's only like maybe 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch, something like a credit card size. It's a square, supposedly. So in this I draw the general layout. So you solve the problem of composition with this small thumbnail study. They may call it noten, like a value study or something like that. So black and white, it's preferred, no color. And later I use I do have this in a notebook, if I can find. Let me see.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I am going to share with you the comments from participants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Some of them like the idea of 50-50. Some of them is interested in the fusion. And some of them have no expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them has a question about the difference between Western watercolor and Eastern watercolor.
There's no Eastern watercolor, period. Watercolor is Western. There might be Chinese, when Chinese or Japanese learn Western watercolor, they may use their tools. So that's probably also some concept more emotional. if you like to talk about a little bit like ontological or theoretical aesthetics, do you want me to spend some time on this subject, Yongle? Because I really prepared for this. If we could.
That would be great.
Okay, let's do this. Maybe Yongle, can you type or write on your whiteboard? Maybe if I can use let me share screen. Oh, I don't have a whiteboard here. A whiteboard, okay. So we can create a comparison chart. Let's do east and I'm sorry. Let me see. Where's the eraser? Okay, let me whiteboard tool. How do I? Oh, here it's clear. Clear all. Okay. So let's do this. West, east. I just use the abbreviation, okay, because I use a mouse to draw. So think about east and west coexist in everybody's brain. So tell me which side of the brain is the east and which side of the brain is the west. So left brain and right brain. Do you know the difference? Anybody? You can unmute yourself if you will. Okay.
Right brain is more intuitive?
Yeah. The right brain is more intuitive and the left brain is more rational, right? And logical. Okay. Yeah, good point. I think I'm not going to write down, but you can take notes. Okay. I may write a little bit about that. So rational, intuitive. I don't know how to write the English quickly here with my mouse. Rational. Anyway, I don't want to waste time, but so we just go through orally. Okay. So the Western art represented by the Renaissance, as I mentioned, not like modern art. If we talk about modern art, there's a fusion of East and West, starting from Impressionism, like Van Gogh, and Fauvists, like Matisse, Henri Matisse or Henry Matisse. They learned from Japanese Oriental art, Japanese prints. So they developed modern art. So tell me, in classical Western art compared to classical Chinese art or Japanese art, Oriental art or Asian art, what's the difference in terms of any other aspect, like style? How do you describe the style? One is realism. So we always think something complementary, right? Realism versus what? Versus you're familiar with Western realism, and in East, we emphasize on expression 写意, right? 写意. However, 写意 is not abstractism, not abstract. Abstract is a Western concept, later developed in the modern art, like Picasso, right? It's completely different than the Chinese classic. So what's the 写意 expression in Chinese or Japanese art? I think it's the expression of feelings. Yeah, emphasis is on the emotional. So we talked about rational and maybe emotional. It's more, it's a better word than intuitive, right? I would say emotional.
How about symbolic?
Yeah, symbolic. Symbolic is another good word to describe the style of Chinese art: calligraphic, symbolic, calligraphic, decorative. Chinese or Japanese art are, and so on the other hand, you have the Western art. How will you describe that? In the left brain, you emphasize more on color, on the realism of perspective. I think light, right? Light value it has to do with light. Color, we use ink.
Chiaroscuro.
Chiaroscuro. What's that?
So shadow, light and dark.
It's
Western.
Western, okay. In Western is the light shadow, yeah. So Western has to do with shadow. In Chinese, we emphasize on silhouette, right? It's like a not cast shadow. It's like you see only the outline of the shape, not the values with the light and the dark values. So the realism versus decorative, basically, right? It's the line versus form. Okay, so when we talk about the generalization, I think Western art is about forms. It has to do with all those elements, with shape, color, light and dark value, that kind of thing. And the East is the feeling. It's the feel of the object. So the images is a combination of imagination or your idealized object, the scenery, not just
symbolic.
Yeah, symbolic, not mimic nature. Okay, but a expression of a feeling of nature. So what's missing in Eastern painting is the form. Because we do not care the resemblance, dissemblance. We care about the essence, the spirit, a movement. I think, yeah, with movement, the energy, the vitality. 气韵生动, in Chinese, the vital energy produce movement in the painting. It's more than 应物象形 or resemblance of the object, mimicking the form of the object. So that's the main difference. So actually, the modern art is combining form and feeling. So you want to introduce feelings into the cold scientific perspective and lighting, like a photograph. So the extreme Western art, classical Western art, is a photograph.
How about impressive? 抽象派。
抽象派is a combination of form and feeling. To me, okay, maybe 抽象派 is already influenced by the East or the primitive art. It's not what we're talking about. So yeah, we just when we compare the two, we will have to take the typical Western art, the Renaissance, the scientific Western art. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, the Eastern art I'm talking about is not someone who studied in France. They already had this. I'm not the first person definitely talking about fusion. A century ago, when the Eastern and West, met Japanese or Chinese students studied in Europe, they already start this fusion process. I talked in several class about the masters who are trained in Europe, right? Those like Lin Fengmian, Wu Guanzhong, to name a few, and Qu Beihong. Although in the process of fusion, we have some artists who lean more towards the Western realism, like Xu Beihong, and then those who are more towards the modern expressionism or abstraction, not to the extent of abstract art though, like Lin Fengmian, who is more, Wu Guanzhong also maybe more into Fauvist or impressionism, post-impressionism. So I'm sorry about the disorganized the board, so I'm not going to save this. So just remember, in everybody's brain, there's East and West, more or less. By no means Western art has no emotion or feelings, or by no means Eastern art has no forms. But the emphasis is different, and they are complement to each other. So that's why we have this class try to adopt the best, the advantage to complement the other. So since we are in America, most of the audience is speaking English, of course. So the Western art become the primary form. In China, they might use primary in the Chinese art as the base, and then to add elements borrow elements from the West. But in this project, we try to stand on the Western side to borrow the Chinese techniques. So the concept is fusion, and also the media could be okay. So like you see in the second stage, I draw this color rough. After the black and white is approved, they actually we spent a lot of time. I did another version first in the beginning. I did this snow scenery, because originally I think the Siberian tiger they live in this cold Arctic area, maybe northeast China also. It's a snow tree. I try to use optical illusion to make the tiger everywhere, like this shape of the snow-covered pine trees, and a skeleton of a tree resemble the tiger's stripe. But later they want a real tiger. That's another thing. I cannot use elusive tiger. It has to be element of tiger. So in the first painting, we decided to do the back view, and so it's still at some things because the title of the painting is a concentration or focus. So I did a full moon, like today you will see this kind of full moon in the sky. So it's a night view. But later, the measurement of the bank do not like the darkness, especially the black. So we cannot use any black. So then we just throw away this idea. And this was, by the way, done on rice paper, on mulberry paper. Mulberry paper mounted on a mounting paper. So this month was done nearly to the end of the project because it was passed. The VP approved it, but the CEO did credited. Corrected. After that, everybody loved the new look because I was free from my old stuff, rice paper, ink. I was so happy to do everything in color. I wish you can see. So I'm really thankful for that decision maker because I'm not the final person to say, although I'm just execute those ideas. So and later I don't have the original, the finished painting, but you can see a clear picture of that. I think. Let me see this. Oh, that. Okay, this painting actually is what you see before the cropping happens. Whoops. Yeah, you can see the painting I did on rectangular paper, right? I just marked the use a pencil line. You can see the pencil line here and here. That's the approximately 13 between the two vertical lines. But I did a little larger, just some bleed or some extra space for them to crop in printing, making, photographing. So this is the unedited version of the original. And when they frame, I suggest them to frame into a square, so it will be hidden behind the mat. Okay, so this is the original. Before color correction by the publisher, the editor they made the white really, you can see the final printout is very it's a little different, but I like it. Yeah, I think it's very pleasant. You can see the printout here on my table here. So this is the final version compared to the initial shot I made. And another challenge is to make a good photograph for publishing. I learned a lot during this process. Yeah, I'm really thankful for their technical help. Okay. So I'm going to maybe repeat the process and while you're painting along with me. Okay. And I was since we already have the composition, I'm not going to draw the composition again, but it's advisable. If you are not good at drawing, you should draw a composition, a thumbnail, just to let me just draw quickly. Maybe a 1 minute drawing will do. This is let me just draw a quick one. You can use any pen or pencil. I just grabbed a ball pen, maybe just something very simple, but to solve the compositional, make some compositional decisions. So you draw a square, and then you draw a tree, and a second tree, and the ground. It's like that, and you can see a Z shape. You can exaggerate a little bit more, just if you want the slope a little different, so they're not at the same angle. And then another kind of skyline, and then some trees. You want to group them so they're not the same intervals or heights, something like that. So just stick trees, some, and later the trunk will, I try to vary the shape a little bit, and this is the tiger here. So that's basically my quick drawing, so this horizon line is about here, and the skyline By skyline, I mean where you can see the sky. I don't know how to define that. So these are like you might draw a quarter, not quarter, 1/3 line, and to avoid the middle and the dead middle. So you definitely don't want to put the horizon in the middle, okay, or the tiger right in the middle. It should be on the corner, not in the focal point. Okay, normally we would do as normally we would put. Okay, and we try to hide that with the camera edge. Okay, and the first thing I'm going to do on this paper is to use the charcoal to draw the layout again. Okay, so I'll draw this tree roughly here, and a tree roughly there, and it's very important to draw this snow blocks, the block of snow in front of the tree. There some large, some small. So that's the most difficult part of this painting. You have to save them, and I still thinking about ways to do it with Eastern approach. So you can maybe use water resist or just white as a resist, something to save them. So you can just paint the whole thing without worry about the white snow. I did use gouache as it's not very ideal to paint the white. If I could save it with the milk or the almond, it would be the best. But if that didn't work, you can still use white. But I think I would use white directly today. Okay, so this actually you can dust it off very easily with maybe a duster. So this is another focal point. What in the painting is actually there are 3 trees: one large, one medium, and small. Right. This small tree is so important. So it's not in the middle. It's on the right side. It has snow also covered some branches, and some dark under it. It's like a Christmas tree shape. Okay, but keep it simple. There's another secondary tree. I tend to, my left brain always work to towards the center. I have to keep it away from the center, constantly to bring rhythm to the painting. So you have to realize that if to patrol, the influence from your left brain. So left brain tend to put everything in the middle, everything in the dead center. So you want to avoid that. Okay. So at this point, I really care about the underlying structure of the painting more than anything else. The structure, the Z kind of. So this is another one third line, I think, something. Okay, here's the height of that tree. So there's some tree there. This tree is about this big. So try to vary the size of the 3 trees here to the main street to create a perspective already from the size, the different shape of size. So in watercolor, we do the light first. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. I'll wash the sky first. Whoops. Okay, let's see what we got. Use a little bit. Let me recharge my palette here. Can't read this. They use different names. I think it's. I was looking for yellow. Let's see. You can use either lemon yellow or ochre for the yellows in the sky. And I definitely need cobalt. Cerulean. This is cerulean. Cerulean is kind of opaque. I'm not sure if this is the same as a traditional. This is the ultramarine is warm. I got here. Maybe I'll use that with darks in the foreground, and I got all the reds already. I just need a cool blue here. I was looking for this is phthalo blue. Phthalo blue is too strong for the sky. This is ultramarine. Ultramarine. I don't have a cobalt blue. Let me see what's this. But I do have this tail or something. Oh, that's a cobalt blue. Good. Is that cobalt blue? They call it. It's like a cobalt tail. But anyway. There are some strange names in this, but it looks like a cadmium yellow here. It's a warm yellow. Warm yellow, cool yellow, lemon, I think. Cadmium yellow. Cadmium yellow. It's lemon yellow. Anyway, it's a little bit too cool. I think the best is to use ochre for the yellow, the light, because with diluted ochre it's very pale, almost like a warm white. Yeah, so that's what I was looking for. Raw sienna. Raw sienna. I will have that. Okay, here I think I got it. I'm going to use what I got. I think it's something like that. So let me put it here so you can see maybe here. Oh, you want to see the sample? Let me just put it on this side. This is a new setup. Okay. Okay, you can see both my palette here, right? So I use a triple brush for the background. So I use a little bit. I believe this is the ochre color. And you can add a little bit warm yellow. Oh, it's too much. Okay. So a little bit. So basically, it's like a dawn. It's a very early morning light. I think. I just. You don't have to avoid the skyline yet. No shape. Just the light, the color for the light. For the color for the light, the very highlight color in the painting.
Henry?
Yes.
Could you mention the list of colors you're using today, please?
Okay. I use all the colors on my in my 24, so it's probably too much. I would say ochre, medium, warm yellow, a cool yellow will be lemon. So 3 yellows. But you can, if you don't have the ochre, you can use lemon yellow plus the warm yellow a little bit, just to make it a little bit warmer than lemon yellow, or not too orange, something like that. And you can use the magenta, or what do you call this, rose madder, or for the red, and cobalt for the blues, and ultramarine. Okay. You can also use crimson for dark. Okay. And then if you have brown, we'll use that also later for tree trunks. The brown I'm using would be burnt sienna and sepia, or Van Dyke brown, very dark ones if you want. Okay. But you can also, you always use 3 primary colors like crimson, ultramarine, and yellow to make brown yourself. So basically, I use very little warm color in this painting to keep it cool, because it's very important to keep it very cool. All right, and I'm going to use a little bit cool rosy color. I don't know what exactly it is. Maybe some kind of magenta. Because this brand has different names, many different modern names, scientific, maybe chemical names. I don't know how to pronounce them. It looks like a rose madder, that kind of magenta, that kind of color. So because before I use any blue in the sky, I want to create a buffer area, at least with red between the yellow and the blues. Okay. Okay. It don't have to be like a horizontal. It could create some drama, in the sky. I think it's probably better to put 2 layers so you can see better, because this paper is so translucent. I got some stains under the, can you see better now? Maybe better, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, but remember, when I mount it, it will be more intensive. So that's a trick of rice paper. You don't really, but basically the intensity will be like when it's wet. So this intensity is is very light though. Okay, so the foreground, I will try to keep it mostly cool, but maybe a hint of this pink color will be good. Just a little bit, maybe a little. I just dry the brush basically. Maybe you won't notice later, but I just kind of, then I change into the cobalt. Oh, this is actually cerulean. Cerulean, it's fine, I think. Cobalt, maybe mix a little bit. I heard that some artists don't want to mix the cerulean with cobalt for some reason. Why not? I don't mind. Okay, so I also mixed a little tiny bit of red, but you don't have to. You can do it later. But I put a little cool sky color on this corner only, because I think that sun is on the left. On the left. Okay, so this is the cool side. Okay. I try not to put any blue directly into the yellow. It will make green, but here we have the tree, so that's okay, but not in the middle here. Okay, so it should be yellow, pink, and blue. So it creates this rainbow color, and you can do some blending right on the paper to get the purple. Purple is created by mix of red and I just put a little more red here. Maybe we should put some more orange color. So I added a little red there. Okay, then maybe a little bit. Oops, too much. Okay, at this point the color should be very thin, very thin. You have to dilute it with a lot of water, okay, because this is for the lightest part in the painting. You can leave some white, but actually I didn't put any resist, but I have an idea to rescue that. I will show you in a moment. So basically we just do all the rest. I just leave a little bit white in the in this area against the silhouette of the tiger. So that's my kind of focal point. Right. So you can skip some, skip some paper to for the white if you got, It's actually better than you paint it. But I have an idea that I can use white to recover those before it gets dry. So maybe you got some very soft white to start with. Okay, so here I create some shadow kind of in this corner and then under the trees here. I'll save a lot of light area here, so maybe you can use this dry brush to draw something like a shadow, cast shadow or something. The snow shouldn't be pure white, but maybe in Chinese painting we always save some unpainted area as a clouds, or in this case snow. It's a good idea to have some unpainted space, otherwise it will be too breathless. Yeah, that's the word we use, to leave some breath, room for breathing. Okay, so I just leave a little bits of white, and you can see the paper has a texture, because you could turn the paper over so it will show more white if you like. The later we will design. If you want more snow texture, you can turn it over like this. So I could have considered that as the side I just did as a back. This way you have the more white highlight kind of fiber in the surface. So it's a nice effect. Even on this front side, you can still see the texture of the paper. That's what the Western paper is missing, the natural texture. So we can use. In 1970s, people like Chen Ji, Frederick Wang, they already adopt Chinese paper or Japanese paper. There's no Chinese paper in the market. Then something like a Mesa paper, is a machine-made mulberry paper, to generate texture, like a crinkled paper texture, to paint on and then mount on regular watercolor paper to get into the American Watercolor Society shows and win awards. So that's a very early experiment. I'm just continuing but not today. We have more authentic paper to play with. Okay, another thing I'm going to do now is to add to recover some snow. I think you can do it after it dries, but if you want a soft effect, you can do it with a very thick gouache. I just use this white ink. It's almost dry, so it's pretty thick. I only have a little bit left, and that's okay. And I use dry brush, just dig into it. Yeah, just pure gouache. Yeah, very pure gouache. You do it on the back side, I think. Last time I did it on the front, it's too hard edged. So I do it first of all on the back side, and then with wet paper. So that will the only thing it's challenge is the reverse. The left is right, but it's good to go back to your right brain by flipping the paper or looking at the paper from upside down. If you paint for like 15-20 minutes, you start to use your left brain to correct your painting, and then everything towards order, towards logic, towards symmetric. Now you have to pull your brain back to the right side by turning it upside down and turning it, flip it. So you paint it completely, from a completely different angle. So you start to see it in your intuitive side of the brain, right? So this is the left is right. So I have to kind of play this mirror game. So, but basically, if you follow the basic principles of the composition is like a triangular, irregular, uneven triangle, and vary the shape of the different elements, like a large, small, medium, or large, medium, small. Just variation. Look at the relationship between those. You don't have to really copy yourself or my painting. So just add some spots to hide the trunk. Make some large, some small, some medium. Yeah, and pay attention on the in and outs. Some like not even. So here's another small tree. So we can do. So my pens is a little bit thinner, naturally, because I started here. It's very thick right here. So this is thinner. And you don't have to use too much white in the middle ground. Okay. So I just kind of roll it, maybe just create some bark, some chunks of snow, and actually there are two trees combined. This combined shapes also important. So you don't have to define; just add some white spot there. You can do it randomly. But if you have the structure of the painting in your mind, it will help. So this is the tree on this side, and I can still see a little bit my drawing, fortunately. So this tree is a little smaller, maybe. I'm trying to avoid the symmetric shape, just to. You can always paint using white later, if, it just show you the technique part of this. And then now we need to dry it. This is my back paper. Which side is the front? We still haven't decided. Okay, so this is the front side now. Front side. What I'm going to do is to dry it with maybe just mounting to make it easier. So the advantage of wet mounting, maybe it's not advised if you have time to mount it before the color sets, but you can do so if you don't have time. So I'll just iron it. First of all, I prepared the backing, the support, with a layer of adhesive. It's a heat-activated adhesive called silicone mounting paper. It's an old piece. It's kind of yellowish. I'm not sure if it still works. So this piece on top is a release paper. It will turn yellow over time, but we don't use this for permanent backing. The white paper I'm going to use is a multimedia mixed media paper by Cancel. You can use Strathmore mixed media or other brand, or you can use your watercolor paper. If you don't have any, you can use Bristol paper as well. I also used that in the past. So just drawing paper may also work. Okay, just some white paper, and then put this background wash on. Okay, let me see, I can just check if I need to add more soft white. Probably not. Okay. So put this painting facing up. I painted the color on the front, and then I did the white on the back. On the back, it's just to first of all, it will be more subtle when it's drying. It's not going to pop like this much. Also, because I want to give room for glazing. So I don't paint like here. I did in the front just for experiment. The other is on the back, so it has a texture if you do it on the front. It doesn't have textures that the original texture maintains. I'm sorry, is that my video freezing? Because I don't.
You're okay.
You see this?
You're okay, Henry.
I don't see the preview window here.
I am.
Let me.
Actually, right now I'm seeing only the white.
Yeah, I think I missed all the images. Let me restart my my camera. I don't have to log out. I can have to. It's frozen for some reason.
Okay, thank you.
CBS currently active. Are you sure you want to exit? No. So I'm. Let me see. How do I do this? Okay, if I stop, my image is just frozen. I think I'm broadcasting live. So if I stop it, you might start another video. Okay, another thing is, let me see. Yeah, I have to restart this. So I'm going to stop streaming for a minute and then recover it, hopefully. So we'll have two recordings. Sorry about that. Okay.
So
Now,
your second part of live streaming on YouTube continues on the same link, right?
yeah. I hope it's same link. Maybe not, but I will check. I'll let you know. I didn't stop that streaming, so it might recover it. Yeah, it's new to me. Okay, so now you can see the painting is wet and sitting on this paper. I already released the release paper, and now I use it as a dust protecting paper. Okay, I put it on the painting to protect dirt from the iron. Okay, so this is the same thing we do with the Chinese painting to dry mount it. Okay, so now I'm going to dry and mount it same time to save time. So you can see how it works. If you don't have the silicone paper, you have to wait it dry, and then you use office glue, like the white glue, or acrylic gel, whatever. They have, I think they have whatever you use for collage, acrylic gel, right? As adhesive. But those may not work for further painting, for touch-ups, or I only have half, like less than half done yet, so I'm not done yet, definitely. So I need to have absorbency, some kind of absorbency to work with. If you use acrylic gel or some other intrusive wet glue paste, it may seal the absorbency. So the best part of this heat activated adhesive is you can still paint on. It's like making a soft shikishi board. The Japanese art board, they made with this kind of adhesive, I believe. So it's absorbent with rice paper mounted on a board, pre-mounted. Yeah, this is the same idea. Okay, you don't have to dry completely. Because some moisture makes good. It's almost completely dry anyway. So you can see my drawing there. It's a little hint that helps. So the white on the back actually become almost like a natural white. Let's see if I just use this weighted. We use paper weight usually to. No, I got paper weight here to hold it. We don't really stretch the paper, but now you can stretch it from now on if you want. You can use tape on the drawing board. But can you see the color intensity now? It's very subtle. You can paint more. Okay. Oops, I think I've got too much paint on this brush, so I'm just using another brush. You can use any Chinese brush. I'm using the basic brush, basic soft brush or basic stiff brush, whichever you like. You can use a calligraphy brush would work. So I'll go right into the dark because I want to see the darks. So let me mix some brown, like a sienna, with the ultramarine to get some kind of gray. So that's like a light, gray ink. I'll just draw this trunk, loss and font. Okay. You can skip some part. Okay. You can add a little more blue. So it goes behind the chunk of snow here, and it's getting thinner, right? Getting thinner. There. So there's a rhythm, really, like this distance is longer. There's a little small intervals. So always use your right brain to check against the patrol in your left brain, which makes everything equal, everything even, everything logic. So try to avoid that. Now, your left brain always play the role of rescue. So when you make a mistake or something, you need to use logic to correct it. Otherwise, just go with your intuitive side of the brain. And try to paint those arms, just like calligraphy, you know. I hold the brush pretty high, you can see, right? Just use your feeling to guide. So this stretch out, this kind of short and then long, alternated short and long ones. You can always, charge the stroke later to change the a hue, right? And here is a little young branch, a young tree. I'm not sure this. Okay, here's a baby there. This is a second, right? And this goes a little bit higher, maybe. Okay, and a little bit more, a little darker. Now I try to do the skeleton tree. Actually, it was a skeleton, but not. I made it into a baby tree. Just to blend with the stripes on the skin of the tiger, so it's almost black, but it's kind of okay. You got some snows on top there. You got some hanging branches. It's almost like it's the back of the tiger, but it's not yet. Tiger will be later. Okay. If you're using watercolor, you can just paint directly, like the background, the light, and then the medium, the darks. I tend to do the calligraphic trees first, because so I know the what, and then before I work on the color or anything else. Okay. Just kind of roll my leftover paints on this. Okay, I got some on this. Cover that area, and we'll do negative painting to shape it. Okay, and here we have a light chunk of this kind of small baby. It has a gesture. I think the point, the best word for this kind of tree is you can feel the personality of the tree with their gesture. they lean or they stand straight, or the kind of movement of the tree is more important than identity of the tree. Okay.
Henry, we have 2 questions.
Yes, please.
Which side of the paper do you paint on? On the smooth side?
Smooth side with the rice paper, always, yeah. But
Okay.
this paper, I didn't really check, but
There
not.
is a question from Stephanie, who raised hand. Stephanie, what's your question? You need to unmute. Stephanie, do you have a question? I see your hand raised.
Maybe that was a mistake.
Maybe it's a mistake. Okay. Thank you.
I blend the colors on the paper, as you can see here. I can charge the brown with a little maybe a cobalt, or something to add another. Usually the warm, the cool into warm, or warm with cool. So just to blend them on the paper right away. And in this case, I do the cool first. On this side, I did the warm first. This was a little more distant. Right? We got the aerial perspective with mist or something, the influence of the atmosphere. So it became cooler, right? So I just use a bluish color more. Now you can still change it later if you need, but basically that's what I try to vary the 2 sides a little bit. So just here. I'll try to make the tree more interesting with some kind of gesture, like a zigzag a little bit. So not a perfectly straight line, right? You can use a different color to adjust. Like I said, you can use the warm. There, a little bit. Okay, but don't complete with one. Student always tend to complete everything in one color or one step. So you want to leave room for adjustment. Yeah, basically, what I was just is this. You don't finish in one step. You kind of leave room for layers of work. Okay, the left and the right definitely don't want to be symmetrical. So you want to actually you can feel that the 2 arms kind of stretch, lead your eye into each other, right? So you kind of eye goes like back and forth. Stop talking. Concentrate on painting for a while. This is close to the sun, so you got some more warm there. So in Western painting, we speak more in terms of color. Color is very, very strong emotional appeal to our feelings. So I really think that's a complementary part we're missing in traditional Chinese painting. So but calligraphy is our strength. So you can see the brush control, the one stroke kind of approach to everything. So I just paint some greens. Maybe we can start to do that. The shady part, or the under part of that broth with the snow cover. Also, it's very important to kind of negative painting. Yeah, you define the shape of the white with your what's behind. That's very common. Also, we use the word not in the yin yang, yeah, the yin against yang, dark against light. Okay, that kind of concept is important. And,
Henry, are we painting in green now?
it's kind of gray, green. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I tried not to use the pure green until the last, so it tried to kind of go slow with a medium green gray or kind of purplish, sometimes all kind of grays. Yeah, because 99% of the color we have in the natural is gray. So green gray, green gray. My answer would be green gray. And some kind of warm, some part is cool. Yeah. So just it's more important to consider the temperature than the hue, name of the hue. So maybe we think how much blue, how much yellow, or how much red in it, rather than just call it the name green or yellow. So it's kind of gray, but with different yellow, different blue, or different red. And in here, I think it is more important to emphasize on the value, the black and white, or the negative and the positive shape. So I actually don't worry about the green. I'm more worried about the white I leave. The unpainted part is probably the most difficult part. And we are very strong in Eastern painting to think, to count white as black, as a black, like the voids. We call that pregnant voids in our painting. It has, to make the white unpainted part to be sky or snow or something. Yeah, you can paint directly if you want with white to start with, if you think that's easier. So I'll make up some here. So that but you want to avoid use voids first. But if you missed, you can always add back the white. Okay. And I really don't want to get like in Eastern painting we do those pine needles painstakingly with each stroke by stroke. In Western painting we just do the mass, the cluster, or the chunk of just shapes of no pine needles, just shapes. Yeah. Right. But yeah, you can put some green if you like, but
Henry, there's a question. Where do you put the gray in the snow to block the snow?
Oh, just like something behind the snow chunk is it could be it may become part of the background. I don't really care. I just want to squeeze out, foil out the white first. Maybe using some bluish gray first. You don't want to worry about definition yet. But later, I'll if I add a little like a strip top of a pine, this gray become a background pine. I don't really mind. Maybe we consider that as a forest. Yeah, I think if you're comfortable with the definition, I'll give you definition. I'm doing forest behind the here. I just use a flat brush. I don't have to really define anything. I just kind of eliminate the what do you say, the squeeze out the white using kind of a green gray, right? And sometimes you can do the like here I have a small tree, but at first I don't even have a definition. I just paint it with some skipping of white. So that's the idea. I think here I try to cut in this slope with a little stronger color. At the same time, you can see I squeeze out this blau, this snow-covered branch. Okay, so then you can see, right? You can always enhance the branch color with darker contrast even more. But we start from a medium kind of value. Yeah. So let's do this. I just kind of paint define the shape of the tree with a background color, very light, but a little bit darker than the initial color. So this is a medium value, right? Medium value. In watercolor, they call it a medium wash, right? Something medium. So I just squeeze out cut out the shape, negative painting the shape of the tree here. So we can add some green if you think it's better, to go with more green. I think this tree has more green here, so we just add it. Okay. Here the slope kind of continues, so that's you need to consider that to go to the back. So it's a shady part here, and just use large brush. It's easier to do this. Just cutting the shape here and there. I use the side of this flat brush for liner shape, and then the white side for the broader. Okay. Okay. We need some more branches here, I think. I just use brown and blue to get the gray. Instead of using ink, I just use whoops, too dark. There's some little accents. Okay, this is belongs to the foreground. You see the root is same ground, right? So this should be the same value. This two should be a combined shape. Combine these two shapes. So you don't have to separate these two trees. You can simplify the branches just to make it more, symbolic, like someone mentioned, to just a symbol of trees. You don't have to be fussy with, all the needles, the pine needles we used to do in Chinese painting. So the main idea is to show the snow, and you can use white. This is a non-traditional watercolor. modern contemporary watercolor. You know, actually the pioneer in modern watercolor, like J.M.W. Turner or John Single Sargent, they all use white or gouache in their watercolor painting. Very integral part of that. Not gouache painting, but watercolors. But it has, you know, you can use opaque watercolor if you want. But there are some conservative. I hope that some conservative watercolor society, they are more restrictive in using transparent color only. Just be aware, read the guidelines in the shows if they allow non-traditional opaque watercolor or not. Now I just add a little saturation to the foreground tree with a little. You can use the red, like a sap green. This kind of. You can mix yellow and the blue to get this greens. Just a suggestion of a spring color. Actually, in reality, the Siberian landscape, they are very grayish, not very, no green at all in winter time. But we don't have to. It's a calendar. We want to make people to feel, more warm and positive, optimistic. So the management want to expect this new year of 2022. It's not 2022. So we should see a new beginning and more hope. At least, yes. I think we do. At least. So this calendar has to be very exuberant. That's the word they use. Exuberant, fluid, very optimistic to me. It's so that kind of feeling, expression, is very important in our color, in our painting, color choice. So this kind of idea really should come first. So we make people. We want to make people happy. Okay. Depends on the time. I can stop anytime. That's the idea. You don't have to really finish it. Let me see. I'll do the most important part. If I only have 15 minutes left, right? So I'm going to do the rest very briefly. So just show you the process. Okay, I'll use a little bit lavender color with a mixture of 3 primaries, maybe some grayish color to do the foreground, the background pines. Still, I want to squeeze out the snow, so I'll go just paint behind the white and carefully squeeze out that a little bit. It goes like that, and then just some more green or bluish color here. Big stroke and narrow stroke combined. You cannot like pressing. If you use a regular, I kind of flip the brush to get this. And just go with your calligraphy. If you're in Victoria's calligraphy brush, you can do any shape in one stroke, right? In the end, so that's the advantage of Western artists with calligraphic training. Okay. And here I squeeze out the front tree with this background tree. Oh, you don't have to stack them like right on top, so try to avoid that. And look at your own painting, so they don't really have to be the same as mine. I cannot repeat myself, even I'm looking at the original painting I did. You cannot really, even myself cannot repeat it. There's some dark here to squeeze out this small, so I just use background to foil out the foreground. I mean the foreground or the middle ground. Okay, now a little more blue. This middle part to combine with the color I used against someone asked against the snow. So this become the background color actually, and then a little more warmer towards the left. So I would use a little orange color, maybe yellow to add it a little bit, not brown. In distant, be careful with any brown. It will destroy the area perspective, because they tend to pop to the front. So you want to go with light, very orange color, maybe something, and gray with a little bit blue, maybe cobalt blue, and make it like this color is perfect for this part. Yeah, here. And you want to leave some air shining through, so don't block anything. Oops, this is. So I try to speak the language of Western paintings, to use some kind of color language, not just a brush stroke, but this is the. I took a 2 years study course from various Western teachers, including Robert Sherrill from Art Center here in LA, and also online. I studied with Ulat in Florida, and I'm going to take another class this end of the month with a Taiwanese master, Jian Zhongwei. He's my favorite. He used a lot of opaque color. I use his palette actually in my normal watercolor painting. Jian Zhongwei. Yeah. There's a watercolor live event. I think you can still register if you just very intensive. There are like dozens of artists.
You talk about Eric Ross?
Yeah. Eric.
Okay.
You know more about I actually am not familiar with the organizer. The only reason I signed up is because Jan was there, because he never because he doesn't speak fluent English, but his English is okay to communicate with language. But his painting style is so different, and I really like.
He's from
Taiwan. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he will be in the workshop. The moment I know that news, I sign up, because I was following him on social media for many years.
Henry?
Yeah.
Do you want to see what the students are doing? They can show you.
Okay. Let me finish the tiger first. Do I have? Yeah. Let me because I do want to finish for this first, and then I can stay a little longer. Can you stay like 10 minutes longer? I can do the review if you like. If for those who want to. Okay. Let me finish the tiger first. We haven't done this this part yet. So I'm going to add the tiger, and then we'll add some accent over it. Okay. The tiger is black. I can use black in the watercolor. I think we have some black here. That's the only black. But you can mix a little bit with like a blue color, some cello. I think this is. I don't have a sketch that will give me more freedom to do. If you want to, I can squeeze. I mean, I can zoom in a little bit. Oops. Okay. So I'm going to do the back first. Or you can do the hip first. You don't have to do the whole shape. You can just.
What color, Henry?
Oh, I mixed a little black and cello.
Okay.
Yeah. So using a small brush will help. Kind of dry brush, maybe. Anyway, I don't have time to adjust. I just using part of split brush for dry brushing stroke. You can push the brush instead of drag to make it split. So to keep the spine in mind, and then so I omitted the tail, but you can just show a little bit maybe. So that's a very low profile because the tiger is stalking very patiently for his prey. You only see the 2 ear lobe, very. There's a white spot, so I draw half circle kind of thing, and then just a suggestion of the neck, but nothing is finished. Leave a lot of space in between strokes, suggestively. Just a little suggestion for the paw, and I can scratch a little bit. Just a suggestion of the leg or whatever. So as quickly as you feel the tiger, it's done. So I really don't see the tiger. I try to mix with this surrounding tree skeleton to confuse the viewer first, so they will have, oh, this is the tiger, not the tree. That kind of strategy. The idea is to avoid immediate recognition of the tiger. Now, if you have time, you can go more like your traditional Eastern style. You can do the pine needles one by one if you want. And let me finish this with some dry branches on the ground or root, kind of. You can have this tree more grounded, but I think it's nicer to have just hide it with some dead branches. I think the painting I had there looked like a deal. I don't like that second focal point to grab too much attention. So just some kind of dead branches there, it would be fine. There's a very important diagonal branch that goes behind there, all the way to this, and you have to indicate that, and you can use color to emphasize without using too much dark. You can use vibrant color to indicate that. And there's some snow on the branch, so you can do a lot of lost in the font. Okay, And the time frame actually is good idea. Always set yourself to a time frame, so you don't overdo things. You have to pick the most important part to do. Okay, I'm going to stop and then we'll look at yours. Okay, let me just. Another rule of thumb for this project is the signature. You probably noticed that I consider when I paint Chinese painting for like Chinese or sommelier show, Chinese painting show, I'll sign Chinese name. But for this painting, I'll do my English name. And here. Okay, I'll sign here with my English name, Henry H. It's too dry. Sorry.
Henry, is there a reason you signed it there instead of on the lower right-hand corner?
No, they tell me where to sign actually.
If you were to do it by yourself, where would you?
Oh, I will sign on this side. On the you're right. Yeah. For some reason they chose this side. Also because I had a branch there, they covered it up. So a signature there will make it even more.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Yeah, I think it might be better to sign on this side. Exactly. But I do want to put my seal on. So that's a fusion.
So for the next segment, if you would like to show your classwork, please put it in front of your face so we could see that, and then raise your hand, either by clicking the raise hand button or literally raise your hand. I'll try to pick you.
Okay, let me finish this right now with a seal. So this will add a warm spot to the painting. It will make the painting more dramatic. Right. So that's my demo. I'm sorry that we don't have time to do more details, but I think it's 80% done. The last 20%, maybe 5% will take. It could take hours to do. Yeah. So now I'm going to see your painting. Do you want me to broadcast their face if they agree?
Yes, we have already notified.
Okay, so I can. So anybody, yeah, you can hold the. Can you highlight the? Let me see. I have to use my. Yeah, I have to change it to speaker view. Can you replace the my? Can you replace? Yeah. Got it. That's good. That's good.
So anyone who is showing your artwork, your face and artwork as well.
Okay.
As well as your name will be visible in the recording.
Shirley, can you hold it against your face again?
My face, but it's kind of big.
Oh, too big. Okay, this is on rice paper. Yeah, now we see it. Yeah, I see the whole painting now. Yeah, it's very nice. Very nice.
The tiger turned out fuzzy.
Oh, that's no problem. You can use white to recover some. You can fix mistakes if you want. I like the small tiger kind of cup, the dark against the light color. Yeah, we had that idea in the beginning that we have only the dark spot in the white snow ground, something like that. That's a good idea. I like the contrast. Very nice. Okay, next person, please. Okay, we can replace with Sharon. Okay.
Yeah, nice.
Sharon, you're done with watercolor, right? Or you did the mounting?
It's a block.
A block, watercolor block. Okay.
It's a 宝红.
宝红 block. Okay. a Chinese brand. I never used it, but I heard good words about it.
Yeah, pretty good.
Okay, very good. Yeah, the tiger is.
Haven't finished.
Yeah. You can make it a little larger, but the body could be a little more realistic. It looks like a trunk of tree.
Yeah, the white doesn't show very good on the watercolor paper.
You can spend more time on everything if you have, but it's a very good beginning. I like the calligraphic strokes so far. Yeah, you can have some more trees in the foreground, in the background as well. Yeah. Okay.
Sharon, is your paper cold press or hot press by Taohu?
It's a cold press.
Thank you.
Okay.
I can show you the front.
It's okay.
Susan.
Thank you.
Susan, your painting is beautiful. I love the white. Very subtle. I really love that. I see distant the foreground, dark trunk against the light background, middle ground. Beautiful sky. Well, I give you a 5, better than mine. You're very good on watercolor, obviously. I'm a beginner in this field, frankly. Yeah. So I learned something from you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good composition. Perfect. Yeah. Oh, what's that? Okay. Laura Miller. Okay. This is more Eastern painting, huh? I love the tree, the giant majestic tree, very tall. The vertical composition, perfect. I like the sky, dramatic sky, Western influence.
I did add some ink.
I love the ink. By the way, you are free. Yeah, I try to show you my restraints, my challenge, but you don't have to be challenged. Okay. I like the sun, the white sun in the sky. Very good. Oh, everybody doing very well so far. I'm very pleased. I was worried if you could follow my philosophy or aesthetics in this. And I'm very open. Okay, you don't have to copy exactly what I do. Just to be creative. We'll see the fusion of class. Everybody is different. I honor that. Okay. Show me Caroline. You are on. Yeah. Caroline. Okay. So the background. You did it on rice paper or watercolor?
This is actually pastel. I couldn't find my watercolor.
Oh, pastel. Wow.
This is pastel.
Very subtle. Oh, well, you can make pastel, so watercolorish. Wow.
If after I put the pastel down, I could use some denatured alcohol.
Oh, I see. So you water it.
And brush over certain areas. So
I see. The sky is so smooth. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the pastel is very good and with rich colors. I can see that. It's a very good idea. I also have soft pastels. I was thinking, to combine with watercolor, but the challenge is the softness of the Eastern paper. But if we mount it on hard paper support, we can use pastel as well. So I usually start with pastel, and then I would do watercolor to to melt it maybe. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, good idea. Nice fusion of different paint materials. Media.
Thank you. How do we do the hand?
Rosemary, what is your question?
No, it's Charlene. How do you get the yellow hand?
Oh, you are asking the
in the chat.
The reactions key on the bottom.
The hands up. Oh, reaction key. Yeah. How you put your hands up. All right. Okay. Yeah,
Well,
reaction.
I don't know if that's the right one, but
I see you have a thumb up, but the thumb up also count. Okay, as a hand.
okay, here's a raise the hand.
Yeah, okay. Now, Rosemary, sorry about the delay. Okay, thanks for holding that. I think your sumi painter or Chinese brush painting, right? Okay. I like the overall composition. Very nice. The 3-tree perspective, the kind of H-shaped composition, very well done. Yeah, very good.
Thank you.
Very good. I like that. Yeah, and very subtle color with a lot of gray.
It's mulberry paper.
Mulberry paper. Yeah, beautiful. And you mount it, it will show the color even better, I believe. Yeah. So you finish everything without mounting it even. Yeah, that's a.
Give that a try.
Yeah, it was to mount. Thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
Janet.
I went in a way different direction, unfortunately.
No, it's the right direction. I think it will be good for the calendar.
I cheated and used a little ink, but then I put the resist in the white spots, but I'm having trouble getting it off.
Oh, you mean the
I'm using the
masking fluid?
Yeah. Coming off at all.
You can use a scrubber. There's this kind of like eraser kind of thing. Use your finger is difficult. There's a very rough eraser. I think you can get to remove the masking. Yeah.
Okay, I'll look for that.
After
I'll
it dries.
prepared next time.
Okay, very good. Very creative. I really like the freshness of this painting. It's beautiful. Yeah.
He's got a little deer.
Yeah. I like it. It's so peaceful, so calm, and so fresh. I love the color scheme. Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you.
I like the contrast, by the way. Yeah. Thank you. Charlie, now you are on
Right, I did it on
mulberry.
no, actually semi-shine.
Oh, semi-shine. Okay.
Yeah.
The branches are missing. You can add it more. You can add more horizontal
more
arms.
white.
Yeah, arms. Good start. It's like I like the rainbow color in the background. The foreground and the middle ground. You need to finish with more details.
Yeah, it needs a lot of work.
Yeah, but a good start.
I just kind of got started on it. Really.
Yeah, very good direction to go. Yeah.
Okay.
Just leave a lot of voids. That's what you do. Yeah.
Would it be better to use the mulberry paper in the?
I think yes. If you keep washing, a lot, it might. But I think if you experience with the semi size, it should be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the difference is the texture. The landscape, I prefer to use a rough texture. Yeah.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. It's just.
No problem.
I had people chopping down trees this morning in my backyard, and I had to supervise, so I didn't have time to get my equipment out.
Okay. I think it doesn't matter really. It's part of the what we call the happy accident or coincidence. You just come up with whatever you have. It's
I just pulled it out.
Yeah. It's part of the unexpected kind of approach to art in Eastern art. Everything comes together. Even the noise in your yard can help. Sometimes contribute to it. D. Okay.
Anna, you need to turn on your video to be featured.
Yeah, very.
It's just the beginning.
I like the winter tree. I like the dry trees. Doesn't have to be a pine tree, but looks really nice. It's very classical Chinese landscape already. Yeah.
I have a question though. I've never done the dry mounting. If I use the silicone, and is that a paper that then goes on the back? I went to your website.
The silicone paper comes with adhesive film. It's not a permanent backing. You use your I'll use a thicker paper for backing.
I have that. Yeah.
Yeah. You can use any paper for permanent support. The silicone is the adhesive I use. Yeah, it heat
So
excess.
after you do the silicone, do you immediately put on the backing, or that can wait a while?
Oh, you can wait it dry, definitely. And then you have to spray a little water. Watch my demo on YouTube or
I will.
yeah.
I wanted to watch you paint, so but this is just the beginning. It's many layers that it goes
I understand. Yeah, you need to mount it eventually. So it's a good question. Yeah.
I'm trying to wet mount and I'm not successful.
Oh really? Well, yeah. That you will like the silicone mounting. It there's no time waiting. Donna Wing. Okay. Wow, you got a seal on Tang.
Yes, I did.
Tang Na. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, great. Yeah, very nice. Brush painting with subtle washes. Yeah, you could wet the paper when you wash, so it would eliminate all strokes. I don't see maybe there's stroke, but maybe just wrinkles. Anyway, if you want a softer wash, you can wet the paper first.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you. I enjoyed.
Thank you. I hope I'm glad to hear. Thank you, Donna. Okay, next person, if any. Okay. So, Chris? Yeah, unmute yourself. Chris. Yeah. Okay. Hold up a little bit so we can see. Yeah. Upper. Yeah. And then okay. Now back up a little. Yeah. Very good. I like the chunk of tree or snow in front of the chunk. That's good rhythm. Very nice. The slope is not very clear, but you can define that a little bit more in the foreground.
I just had the Chinese white. I didn't have gouache.
Oh, you don't have to use gouache. Yeah, the slope don't have to use white. You can use some gray or something to define the ground, the foreground. Yeah, it's a little bit blurry because I maybe that's my mistake too. So the ground could have a little line, the slope, slope, the more definition in the ground. So the tiger is grounded, or the tree is grounded a little bit especially the right side and the left under the tree and
Right.
somewhere. Yeah,
Thank
you have
you.
some dark purple on the left. The right also needed. Okay.
you.
Wow. Benita's tree remind me of a Northern Song Master. Yeah. So you definitely studied Chinese landscape before, right? Right. Yeah, I really like the shape of those, the gesture of those winter pines, and I like the cast shadow in kind of light pink color, warm. Yeah, very nice. Where's the tiger? Did you hide it somewhere I couldn't see? It will be here. Yeah. Is it behind the tree trunk? Oh, this is the tiger. Yeah, good. I see it. I thought it was a part of the branch. That's the idea. Way to go. Yeah, you want to. Yes, I also thought to make the whole of the tree look like a negative tiger's image, like optical illusion. Yeah, this is stick tiger. Yeah, I see that. The darkness is different than the tree. I see that. Yeah, maybe the stripe a little bit longer and wrapping the lower body maybe somehow. It's like not buried by the snow too much, so we can see a little more the back profile. Yeah. Okay. Very creative.
Ping is also raising her work. 1 second.
Yeah, you can. Okay, Ping Huang, right?
Mm-hmm.
Huang Ping. Yeah. Okay, very nice. I see like a backlit effect, but I can see the transparency of the paper. That's nice. So the thickness of the paper. This tiger is very accurate. Yeah, very nice. It becomes the focal point, definitely. The tree could be a little larger on the right side. Maybe you can extend the trunk a little. I mean, a little lower the root on my right side, your left side. Yeah. This side should be larger than the left side. Do you think so? Because this is the foreground, so proportionally this is closing to the viewer. So the tree on this side, both trees could be little. The ground, the plant should be on the same with the tiger. Now you have like the small tree also on the same ground. So the foreground should be more in the front of the tiger. Understand? Yeah. That indicated with the roots of the three trees. You can have some more branches on the tiny little tree. Yeah, you're right, right there. Right. Do you think it will help? Because you can make the foreground tree a little larger that way. To check my sample painting, you'll see what I mean. It's the closer ground, to the viewer. Other than that, I think it's very good. Okay, Sylvia.
Fine.
Sylvia.
Peter.
Or is that your name, Sylvia? Say your name, please.
Yes, my name is
So
Lydia.
I heard a guy's name, a guy's voice, maybe a noise. Anyway, very nice, black and white. It's off focus. I cannot really see the tiger. Oh, I see that. I see. Just get a little away from the camera, maybe. Oh, I see that. Yeah, maybe it's a little blurry. Yeah, okay. Just a little away. Maybe we can see a little better. Yeah, I like the overall feel of the snow, even though you didn't do the white with white, right? You saved it, did you? Maybe you did with
I think
with white. Yeah. But it's very subtle. Yeah.
can you see the color?
You don't have to use color. It's black, white, white is very good. I like all the gray, the white and the dark and the grays. It's very rich already with a sense of snow, because in the snow weather, especially overcast day, you see a lot of gray, white, that kind of. In Russia, they said they can distinguish 40 kind of whites, or in Alaska maybe. That's kind of painting, very rich in values. Yeah, I like it, and lots of lost and found branches, beautiful.
Thank you.
This is PJ. This is my painting.
PJ, your video is where's your video? Okay, raise your hand, PJ. Okay, now we can see. Are you okay there? All right. So this is on watercolor paper.
Yep.
You have the stretch, so you got the nice cut on the edge. Beautiful. Yeah, the tiger is attacking some target, huh? Prey. Yeah. Yeah, it's like jumping. But that's nice. I like that. Yeah, very. I like the movement. Of the painting. Very good.
There was something said about trying to keep a time limit. That was like the last thing we did was the tiger. And I was like, oh, this is not easy. I'm gonna have to go back to this, but I wanted to finish it to show it. So.
Yeah, the middle tree could be a little lighter somehow. To put it back a little bit, and then the background tree could be a little more. The yellow looks like. The yellow should be green, right, for the forest. So you can turn the yellow into green. Then you only leave the pink in the sky, should be fine. The yellow not looks like sky, or it should be mountains, right? It should be more bluish. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can change that easily. That's good. it's good, very good start. I like the idea of the composition. Floyd, you're Daisy, right?
Yes.
Daisy. Okay, I know your last name. Lofty.
I'm trying to hold this up.
Okay, yeah, the white a little bit over, maybe it looks like a Japanese painting, modern Japanese painting, probably like a woodblock painting you like, huh? Yeah, it's nice, but you do have the different whites, like different opacity of white. That's very good. I like it. It's very Japanese feel.
Tiger.
Yeah, the tiger looks like lying flat.
But I did end up doing 2 tigers. I don't know if it worked.
You can if there's something wrong, you can turn it into a rock. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think maybe still 1 tiger would be good, but I don't know. Oh, there are 2 tigers playing. I see that. Oh, I see two tigers from we have that. In my reference photo, I have a very good reference. If I can show you later. 2 cups playing together. Maybe I post in my online class for you. You can take a look. Yeah, they're playing in the snow ground. I almost did that too. When I had a picture of this. Yeah, very nice. I see 2 cups playing in the snow ground. Okay.
Thank you, Henry.
Thank you, Daisy.
The next person is Sun Di. You need to turn on your video before I could spotlight you. Thank you.
Okay. 顺地. Okay. 顺地. Okay. Yeah, 顺地's painting. You got 2 tigers as well, right? Side by side. Yeah. Very nice. Right. The head is a little bit kind of blurry. Maybe we can add the ears above. Use some white to recover some. Yeah, I like the branches in front of the thicker trunk that create depths. Very nice. If you pull back a little bit, I can see the whole picture a little better. Okay, yeah, I like the rainbow in the sky. Very cool feeling. Very good. And yeah, I do like the 2 tiger idea. They're getting warm each other together in this cold day. Very nice. Very good. I see tree. Beautiful. Morgan Robinson. Yeah. Okay. Hello.
This is a watercolor paper.
Yeah, I see you're very advanced in watercolor as well as in calligraphic painting, right?
I had an interesting challenge with the gouache.
Oh.
I don't usually use that, and so when I put it on, it practically disappeared. And then when I put more water on top of it, it reactivated, and so the smoother and softer look to it.
That's my idea. To use gouache first, so you glaze it, to show it. Yeah, that's my idea. I borrowed from Chinese approach. I'm glad you liked it. I like the grouping of the white chunks. It has large, small, and medium. And then do like the snow ground, the line of the snow with where the bush meets the snow. It's very nice, and some in and out, some hard and soft combined. I really like the branches and very simple, simplified shape. Beautiful. Yeah. You don't have a tiger yet, huh? Do I?
No.
Okay. You can omit that if you want.
No, it's not invisible either.
Oh, invisible tiger.
Megan, can we see a little closer up? Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Okay.
So Henry, I believe that's all
Okay.
the participants who are sharing.
Okay. So I'm gonna stop streaming. Thanks everybody for showing us your work. I'm very pleased that you follow me. And next time we'll do a tiger to celebrate the Chinese New Year. We'll skip the New Year's Day, right? So we have one more class before the Chinese New Year, and I will do the tiger, which is one of the 2 wild cards I have, besides the 12 pages of calendar. Do you agree?
Great.
Okay. So yeah, the tiger you can see is on my screen there. Can you see my finger there? Okay, let me show you the tiger quickly. So I'm going to do this tiger here. See that? Okay, good. See you next week, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you would like to share your painting with me, you could email your painting to me. Thank you.
Okay, I will show you my the painting I finished. I'll take a picture and also send it to Yongle. Maybe you can share with them with next hangout or something. Okay, I'm going to stop streaming. Thank everybody on YouTube for watching as well. See you next week.
Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Until next week.